Hello guys, welcome back to the Wings Mobile Detailing Podcast. Today I'm covering the topic of business again, and I was recently having a deep conversation with friends of mine about employment. We know a few entrepreneurs, business owners, small business owner, most likely that come with complaints that they cannot find great people to work for them, and it's so hard to find good people in the world. Nobody cares. This new millennia, the millennial nowadays is just lazy and all the bullshit excuse that they use to justify the fact that they cannot grow a team and have employees. And let me break the ice right now. I consider this as an excuse for people who is not growing, and there's one way to get through that and actually find good people, or perhaps not find good people. You're never gonna find great people because great for you can mean something else for somebody else, but you can make them great. But the only way for you to do that is for you to stop complaining and whining that there's not great people out there. I'm all about taking full responsibility. That's my number one thing. Always take full responsibility for the things you want to get in your life. Never blame exterior. Never blame anybody else. Even if it's somebody else's fault that you can accomplish something in life, even if it's out of your control, I still find ways to take responsibility that to myself, because that way I have control over it. And if you have control over it, you can make it work. Same with employees, same with finding people. All of you small business owners, if you want to find great people, take responsibility that it's up to you to find them or to make them great to work for your company. You guys are probably going to relate to the things I'm going to say on this podcast. If you're not one of those people who blame the exterior and also take full responsibility to find great people to yourself, maybe you're already a big business owner and you're the type of guy who take full responsibility, but you hear out there these excuses that I'm going to talk about, and they're very common. They are common among other business owners that own small businesses with perhaps zero employees because they've never gotten to the point of hiring people. And it's a tough situation to be in when you're the first, second, third. It's tough at the beginning, but stay with the introduction. It's going to be kind of short podcast.
Welcome to the Wings Mobile Detailing Business and Automotive Podcast, the only podcast that will guide you on how to start and grow six-figure companies. As our team expand from one business location to worldwide domination, you will get step-by-step insights from a millennial franchisor and franchise owner with your host, Andre Mezalira.
So most businesses fail from growing bigger at the beginning. When they have a goal to grow big, most businesses fail at the time that it's time to hire people, because it's tough. It's tough if you're trying to find your first employee to depend on them. By then, the first time, you're not gonna have created any training. You're not gonna have anything, so you're gonna do everything hands-on. You have to train them. You have to make them great, and it's tough. And when people go through the first employee, maybe they're going through the first, second, or third, and they don't have the capabilities of already a training team with them, or it's very hard, and most businesses fail right then and there. For a business to succeed, they have to grow every day. They have to continue to grow. Otherwise, it's just going to free fall. Unfortunately, there's no midterm in entrepreneurship. If you want to grow a big business, you're either taking it growing fast and dominate your industry, or you're going to free fall. And why is that? That's because if you're not growing fast, somebody else in your industries, another business owner, is putting a lot of hard work. And if you're not, you're going to be eaten alive in the marketplace among other industries. Therefore, you're going to free fall and you're going to fail. And to grow a big business, you have to have a team. You have to create a team. You have to trust people. And trust is another point that it's very common to hear that you shouldn't trust people, and that's maybe another reason to why people use this excuse that they cannot find great people, because they also say, hey, I cannot you shouldn't trust anybody. Well, guess what? If you don't trust anybody, you're not going to be able to delegate tasks to them. You're not going to delegate tasks to people you don't trust. You're not friends with people you don't trust. Why the hell would you trust your entire business on people you don't trust? And if you have this false idea that you cannot really trust anybody because you heard somewhere that it's a common quote that people say, I don't know where it came from. And if you trust that idea, then yeah, I mean, you're giving another excuse to why you cannot have employees, why you cannot grow the business. And this is all excuse. Take responsibility to yourself. Find people who you can trust. Maybe you cannot trust at the beginning because you don't know the person, but you have to know who to trust. That's your responsibility, is to know who to trust. Not only in business, in friendship, you have to know and learn how. And if you fail, don't blame everybody. If you lost trust with somebody because they done something to you, don't blame everybody else. You know, that was that one person. That was your mistake for not catching it early on and for not knowing it, the signs. So always take full responsibility for that. Excuse people use when they fail in finding people to work for them is they say that they cannot find skilled workers in their industry. And this is a very common excuse. I hear that many times from multiple business owners, and they say that they cannot find skilled workers in their industry because their industry is different. Their industry requires skilled workers. Where, guess what? If your industry requires skilled workers and you can't find them, you have to make them. You have to make them skilled. You have to put in the effort. You have to, at the beginning, work step by step to make them great, to, for your industry. Amazon, for example, Amazon is Amazon went to a meeting, I think, in a presidential, I think that was with Donald Trump or Obama. I'm pretty sure that was Donald Trump. Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, he sat down with Donald Trump and, talking about what it would be good for the economy, what would help, businesses grow to give more jobs to people. And Amazon, as you guys know, it's a huge company, has a huge impact in the economy. And he suggested that the government make programming and coding, computer coding, mandatory in high school for students, because he saw the need for that. He saw the need for those skills. He even suggested the government to do that, not only to benefit him, not only to benefit Amazon, but because he saw that there is going to be a higher demand for people with coding skills in the future, technology and programming and all that green screen that I don't understand. But what is he doing now? What is Jeff Bezos as Amazon's doing now? Is he, he needs those workers and he is training them. He's training them because Amazon doesn't just sell products. They're a data company, and computer, artificial intelligence, that is a big for them, and they have to train people to become great so that they can work at Amazon. They have a whole growing team. And you can use another excuse saying, I'm small, I can't afford to grow a team of skilled workers on mine because it takes a lot of training. Well, guess what? It's your if other companies did it, you can do it too. It just takes small steps, and you can just take your time at the beginning. Obviously it's going to take time until you grow. At the beginning, you're gonna have to get your hands dirty. You're gonna have to teach them. You're gonna have to show them how it's supposed to be done, because they may not know, especially if it's a new industry, that you're in. And take responsibility. You make them skilled. You'll make them great. And any company you're supposed to do that instead of blaming the outside. And if you think you're not good in training people, where to find people, I'm going to cover this real quick as well. Quick tip for all of you listeners. But if you don't know how to interview people, go get a book and read. How to interview, how to find greatness inside of people. I guess there are many leadership books out there that you can read. And that's what's required. On finding people, there are multiple websites as well. And it goes through trial and error, because every business is different. Sometimes you can grow, do a Facebook ad. Others are through Indeed. Our business is very good in finding people through Indeed. But guess what? I personally get about 60 when I run an advertising on Indeed without paying much for ads, just running on Indeed. I get about 60 applicants. Out of those 60, guess how many that at least answer the phone and show up to work on their first day? About 5. About 5 people out of 60. Let's say 10 answer the phone, 5 works, and 3 really make the cut. Could very well be whining for the fact that, oh, they're not great people out there. Well, guess what? I found ways to filter through them at the beginning, better at the beginning than towards the end, so that then I can make a more efficient way to find people. And what else I did when I find them and they start working for Wings Mobile Detailing, I also have a training team that it took me at the beginning months for me to create that. At the beginning, it took months for me to train one guy. And a short story about my company, as we provide mobile detailing services. We have multiple vans throughout different cities. And at the beginning, it would take me months to train one guy. And I was thinking, if it takes this long at the beginning for me to train one guy, then, dude, I'm screwed because then if I'm starting to, and then he leaves, and then I'm training 2 guys, and then if they leave, all these months of wasted time, because it takes money to train people. It's an investment. Then I'm screwed. And then I decided to develop systems to train them, systems and great guys. So I train one guy really, really well, and then he passes it on to the next one. I make him a trainer, and so on and so forth. And that's it, step by step. It took time, and then now to train people, it takes much less than even 1 month to train a guy. And while he's been trained, it works out perfectly. So way less than 1 month. So guys, it's all up to you. At the beginning, it's hard. But take responsibility. Don't fall into the trap of hearing other failed businesses if you're at the beginning of the business that you can find good employees. Keep doing your thing day to day. Get your hands dirty, because it's going to require that out of you for you to also understand all the ins and outs of the business. But as far as finding good people, always think positively. Yes, there are great people out there. If there's not, yes, you can make them great. You can make them fit your business for you to know how it is working team. It's not like you also have to do self-analysis as well. If you're somebody, I don't want to use a bad word here, but there are people that may not want to work for you depending on your attitude. So it may require for you to change your attitude for you to become a better leader. And obviously your job is you're not supposed to be liked, but you're supposed to know how to lead. And a good leader knows how to work in a team. They don't put themselves on top like they're all the boss, and they just want to tell people what to do. Not what a leader does. Leader is different than boss. They are 2 different words. If you prefer to be all the boss, well, so be it. But get the consequences of being that way. At the end of the day, however, if you're starting getting problems if you feel like you never find great people, everybody never wants to work for you, they always leave, do a self-analysis. Always blame yourself and what can I improve here? What am I doing wrong? There could be a million things. Always try and error, but always blame yourself. That's the best way to not to find skilled workers, but to start growing as a company. Just eliminate this excuse of you cannot find great people.